There are nights that belong to silence, and there are nights that seem lit from within. This is one of them. Before us, a modest street in Arles becomes more than stone, wall, and window. It becomes presence. The air is cool. The ground still holds the memory of the day's warmth, and above all, golden light pours from a café, as if the night itself had found shelter there. Café Terrace at Night by Vincent van Gogh was painted in September 1888 in Arles in the south of France. But what we see here is not only an illuminated square, it is a rare meeting between the ordinary and the eternal. A simple moment. Tables, chairs, facades, stars, lifted into something almost sacred. As we move forward, the world seems to slow down. The cobblestones beneath our steps carry the weight of reality, yet everything around us vibrates like feeling. The facades are not fully asleep. The windows watch in silence. The street stretches ahead like a path between two states of being. On one side, the warm intimacy of human life. On the other, the infinite depth of the sky. Van Gogh did not paint only what he saw. He painted what the night made him feel, and perhaps that is why this place still breathes, because we are not entering only a French street. From the 19th century, we are entering a state of soul, a moment in which darkness does not threaten, it welcomes, in which light does not wound, it invites, in which the city does not impose itself. It whispers. Now the terrace light comes closer. It falls across the yellow awning, the small scattered tables, the delicate chairs, the ground receiving golden reflections. As if the space itself were absorbing warmth, there is something deeply human in this brightness. It is not monumental. It is not theatrical. It is intimate. It is the light of a place where someone could sit, breathe, rest, and watch the world pass by. And yet, above it, the sky. A deep blue, almost impossible sky takes hold of everything. Not an empty sky, but a living one. The stars are not distant. They feel near, attentive, gently lit, like small points of eternity watching over the street. In this painting, night does not erase things. It reveals them differently. We continue more slowly. To the left, the walls of the café still hold warmth. To the right, the street opens into bluish shadows, quiet facades, closed doors, a town that continues to exist without fully offering itself. There is a special beauty in what does not completely reveal itself. Van Gogh understood that. He knew that part of the enchantment of night lies in what it leaves unsaid. Every detail here seems balanced between simplicity and wonder. The tables are not luxurious. The chairs are not grand. The street does not try to impress. And that is exactly why everything feels so powerful. Because beauty here is not born from excess. It is born from attention, from a gaze capable of finding poetry, where many would see only routine. Perhaps that is what makes this work unforgettable. It does not depict a palace, nor a mythological scene, nor a great historical event. It shows a street, a café, a few people, a starry night, and yet it holds the entire world, the longing for belonging, the distance between the illuminated interior and the open darkness, the comfort of human shelter before the vastness of the universe. Van Gogh once wrote of his wish to paint the night without making black its center. And here we feel that clearly. Darkness is not absence, it is blue, violet, breathing, depth. For him, night was not the end of color. It was the beginning of another language, and that language is still alive around us. When we look at the glowing awning, we see more than fabric and light. We see warmth. When we noticed the empty or quietly occupied tables, we feel more than human presence. We feel waiting. When we raise our eyes to the stars, we do not see only points of light. We see a bridge between the street and the infinite. This painting holds something rare. It invites us without trapping us. We may enter, we may remain, we may simply pass through slowly. Nothing here demands haste. Nothing drives us away. The painting offers room for the eye to rest, for the breath to soften, for the soul to find a form of accompanied silence. Perhaps that is why we keep returning to it, because all of us at some moment search for a light like this, a place that is simple yet alive, a moment in which the outer world and the inner world seem for a few seconds to come into agreement, a corner where loneliness does not weigh heavily, where the night does not frighten, where beauty does not need to explain its own existence. Now, as we remain here, between the cafe's golden glow and the sky's endless blue, we understand something essential about Van Gogh. He did not want merely to represent life. He wanted it to intensify it. He wanted to show that a street could be as moving as a cathedral, that a table beneath a terrace could contain the same grandeur as a vast landscape, that the night of a small town could carry mystery, tenderness, and eternity at once. And perhaps that is the true power of this work. It teaches us how to see light where there were once only lamps, to see depth where there was once only shadow, to see companionship where there was once only distance, to see the sky not as a background, but as a presence. We stay a little longer. The night air remains soft. The stones remain quiet. The café continues to radiate its small golden miracle against the blue night. And the stars, still and alive, continue to hover above everything as if they were keeping this moment forever. And then we understand. We are not standing before a painting. We are standing inside a night that never ended.